Recon Athlete Podcast is brought to you by Kreitz Market, The Social, and Focus Fit San Marcos. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 66. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, and Zach Lucetto on the line. Paul, how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm trying to stay dry here in Lockhart, America. Just got through going to pick up my fat pills, some donuts. Trying to start the Saturday morning off right.
You trying to pick up your what pills?
My fat pills, donuts.
Oh.
Fried bread with sugar icing. Well, that's a fat pill if I ever heard of one.
All right. That's what's up. Zach Lucetto, you there?
Yep.
What's going on this morning, brother?
Chilling. It's cold.
Is it? That's what everybody keeps. That's what Paul just said. I haven't been out. It was cold when I came out of my room, and Snupe was on the couch. He had he's got a hoodie on with a jacket, and I think he's even got, what else you got, Snupe? He's got a vest on and a beanie and everything. So apparently it's really cold out. Have y'all Paul, you went out to get donuts. Is it cold out there?
Bro, it's like it's windy, it's cold. It's probably like 45 degrees outside, but that wind is making it just more uncomfortable. And then it's wet on top of it, so it's nasty outside. I mean, if you can avoid it, just stay out. But bro, it was like 90 degrees this week, and then now it's 45 and wet and rainy and windy. Crazy.
Yeah. So today's a good day to stay home. I mean, right now every day's a good day to stay home, but especially today. It's just a Netflix type of day, and that's going to be something we'll talk about a little bit later. You go through maybe some top 10 Netflix shows this week, Netflix shows and movies. A couple of names on there I hadn't even heard of, so I'm kind of interested to get to that. Also talk a little bit of a mock draft, maybe some Cowboys mock draft, and what else? Oh, yeah, we're going to remember when the Longhorns were good, because apparently the Longhorn Network was playing the National Championship game from 2006 the other night, and I saw a lot of posts about it, and I was also kind of like, isn't this kind of regular Longhorn Network programming, though? I mean, don't they show that thing all the time? I mean, we'll get to that. I mean,
okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, and then we'll see what's up. Other topics as assigned. And we'll get to all of that, but I guess we'll start with the remember when the Longhorns were good, because somebody wanted to say something. Was that you, Paul, or Zach?
Yeah, that was me. It's just I think because nothing is going on, social media is pretty dry right now when it comes to sports content, and I think if you follow the Longhorns or you follow ESPN, which I'm sure a lot of our listeners do. That's just pretty much what they were just saturating their social media with, was when the Longhorns were good, when they were winning national championship, and then the top games, from the era, and that Longhorn game with USC was pretty much at the top of the list. I mean, for you and me, I remember that game vividly, because after I watched it at my parents' house, I drove up to Austin to meet with you and your cousin Stefano when y'all lived together, and we cruised around. So we were, I don't know if you remember that, but we were trying to look for an academy to pick up a couple of those shirts, and we really couldn't do anything until the next day. But bro, we stayed up so late, and I know Zach was only 10 or 11 at the time, but I would be really interested to get his memory of what he remembers.
Zach, how old were you back when the Longhorns won that championship?
If it was 2006, I was 10.
Do you remember?
Yeah, see?
To be honest, I don't really remember watching the game, but I mean, it's one of those games that everyone has seen at some point and has talked about so much that I remember it as if I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've replaced lost memories with ones from TV and replays and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've seen that game. I mean, it was played over and over and over again, and it's been played over and over again, especially on TV screens here in Austin, Texas for the past 15 years. And I mean, yeah, it was fun to reminisce, but it's man, they did get back there a few years later. Played against Alabama. Colt McCoy got hurt. Garrett Gilbert did his darndest to come in and try to, help the Longhorns win that game. I always thought Colt could have gone back into that game. But that's a topic for another day. But it's always fun to reminisce, man, but I'm just ready for the Longhorns to be good again. And I'm ready for actually this coronavirus thing to go away so we can actually have a college football season. And let me ask you this, guys. Did y'all see Tom Herman's his statements on, he is kind of expecting the football season to be canceled? And how did you feel about that, if you heard that, Paul?
I did not hear that. I just heard that now, and shame on Tom Herman.
Right.
Shame on Tom Herman. He doesn't. I understand that he's a certified genius for whatever secret society he's a part of, but I mean, he doesn't. I don't know science. I can't predict the future, and I'm not going to put my faith in a head football coach for the University of Texas who's on the hot seat. And maybe he's making that prediction because he knows he's on a hot seat and he wants to just give himself more time here in Austin, Texas.
Zach?
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to he saw what happened to Shaka Smart, and he was like, well, if they cancel the season, I get another year. So let's hope that it's canceled. But I haven't seen that, but I had seen that Dabo Swinney is doing like the opposite. Like, he said he's only thinking about like best case scenarios. That's all he's like his day to day, he's acting as like football's going to start as normal.
And you know what that's a sign of right there? That's the mentality of a winner compared to a non-winner. So there you go, Tom Herman. Why don't you take little notations of a national championship winning coach and start practicing that positivity, because what you put out and what you say will manifest.
That's a good point. That's a real guy, and I didn't see that, Zach, on Dabo, but yeah, I mean, just my initial reaction to it is what Paul's saying, man. That's like, yeah, you get ready and get prepared and have your mindset like everything's gonna be normal, because if you're already kind of have that defeatist attitude just about the season, what does that say about what you're how you're preparing yourself right now? I mean, I know you can't really do a whole lot.
It sets him up to use the excuse of that he didn't have enough time to prepare.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Wow. Well, okay. Fair enough. But I'm just going to say, like, I was kind of disappointed to hear Tom Herman say that. I mean, it was on, some of the local news outlets, and, he was talking about, how the football season, could be canceled and this and that. And I mean, we don't know, we're not experts, we're not doctors or scientists or anything like that. But I mean, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. I'm doing my darndest to stay home, trying to cook at home as much as I can, try not to go out. I mean, like this weekend, this is a good weekend to stay in. I've done a little research. I know the virus, thrives in cold weather or colder weather, and, not being sunshine and all that other stuff. So, just try to stay home if you can. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 66. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, and Zach Lucero on the line. Zach, are you at home right now?
Yep.
Good. Last time we talked to you, you were running around trying to find. Did you ever find your Dr. Pepper that you were looking for?
No, I'm still waiting for one of the listeners to hit me up so I can buy it from them.
Yeah.
They got it stockpiled or what?
One of your friends, I know Chris, one of his friends definitely got the hook up somewhere. So I'm just waiting to get a Facebook message.
All right. So it was the cream flavored Dr. Pepper, right?
Right.
All right. So cream flavored Dr. Pepper, hit me up, slide my DMs so we can get Zach this. And he's also willing to pay double the price. Is that true, Zach?
I'll pay triple.
He'll pay triple the price. If you're willing to, if you got an HEB curbside sitting there for tomorrow, the next day, add item. Go ahead and add item Dr. Pepper cream, and Zach will pay triple for that.
Zach, you know what? I do have a curbside on Thursday. I'll see if I can add it. Let me see if I can add it. And if they got it, I'll pay double for friends and family discount. You don't got to pay double. You don't got to pay for anything. If I can get it, we'll find a way to get it to you.
Yeah,
See, that's the Recon family right there.
Recon family.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna say, you know the P-Rod always come through. Came up with that bottle of Luda ticket. Lockhart America provides, baby.
Yeah, Lockhart's
Just so y'all know.
Lockhart's got stuff. Lockhart got the things that we don't have here in the city. like
and vice versa. And vice versa.
Right. Yeah, there's other things that Lockhart doesn't have that we got here in the city. One of the things that Lockhart does have, I'm gonna give a little shout out to our sponsor, Kreitz Market. Also shout out to the Social and Focus Fit San Marcos, but Kreitz Market's still doing their to-go thing. You can get delivered. You can get you can go by there if you're in the area for some reason. You want to take a drive. I think it's okay to take a drive to Lockhart and pick up some barbecue, some sausage, right? I mean,
yeah. The other thing that's really cool too is this ordinance, the shelter in place. It's saying you can't gather in a structure, but man, I've driven by Kreitz twice, and there's people tailgating, Chris. There's people getting their barbecue, and a lot of people drive trucks around here and from out of town, or they'll open up their SUV or just put it on the back of their trunk of their car, and they're just eating right there in the parking lot, tailgate style.
Just with the family or whatever.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad idea. Kreitz got a big. They got a big parking lot, so you can park a couple spots away from people and stick with your little family unit and have some barbecue there in the parking lot of Kreitz Market. Yeah, that's the one thing I am missing, man. Is some good barbecue. I might have to order some. Yeah.
Rudy's is delivering using Tiff Street.
Tiff Street,
really?
I'm serious. Yeah, I got an email from Tiff Street said that they're acting as a delivery service for a bunch of local restaurants.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, no ad, but I'm gonna shout out to Tip Streets. I'm gonna try to. It reminds me, I need some cookies. All right, let's move on to our mock draft talk. The reason why I wanted to talk about this because the draft is coming up in the NFL, and you see a lot of mock drafts, on the different outlets, ESPN, CBS, NBC, NFL Network. And then I hear a lot of NFL Network on Sirius XM, and I heard one yesterday, and I can't remember who it was, but they were getting to the point in their mock draft where they were right at. I just happened to be in my car, and it kind of lucked out where they were getting to the 17th pick for the Dallas Cowboys, and I was kind of surprised with where they went with it, and. What they were talking on the NFL Network with this particular mock draft was with the 17th pick, the Dallas Cowboys go with CeeDee Lamb if he's available. So the wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Now I know you lose one receiver. You signed Amari Cooper. I'm not so sure if I would go with CeeDee Lamb at this point at 17. Paul Rodriguez, what's your take on that?
It would be really cool. It'd be really cool if they could lock up CeeDee Lamb. There's a lot of talk of, there was a picture let out yesterday of Dak Prescott throwing with Des Bryant, and that void needs to be kind of filled because of Randall Cobb leaving, going to Houston where he got crazy money. But if they did get CeeDee Lamb, that would be tremendous for him to fall that way. But I mean, I don't really even think that's their biggest need right now. And I think their biggest need is it's either going to be a quarterback or it's going to be a pass rusher, an edge player. And Clavon Chason from LSU, I think, would be the best fit for them to land there. But if CeeDee Lamb was there, I would definitely take him over Clavon Chason. But I mean, that would be a huge get. I mean, that would totally make their pass or their receiving core that much better. And I mean, move over to Amari Cooper. Your new number one receiver is a rookie out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. So you think CeeDee Lamb would be taking over for that number one spot?
To me, CeeDee Lamb is a taller D-Hop. He's just a bigger version of that guy because he's so alpha. He's just so big and so strong. And then his top flight speed and I think the yak is really where I think he's going to set himself apart because I mean, when he can break tackles, granted it's in college and also in the Big 12, but man, I think where he's going to make a lot of his money is going to be in the yak. But yeah, if he falls to Dallas, or if Dallas maybe moves up and to get him, damn man, it'd be a great fit for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and I've seen other mock drafts. One in particular was on NFL Network or on NFL.com. Maurice Jones-Drew did his mock draft, and he had K'Lavon Chaisson going to the Cowboys at 17. I mean, the only thing about Chaisson, out of LSU is his size. I mean, he's like, I think he was last year playing at about 218, 220. Granted, he was a terror coming off the edge and even up the middle because he's just so quick. It was hard for those offensive linemen to block him. But, when you're talking to, there's a huge difference between college linemen and NFL linemen. So, NFL linemen, they get their paws on you and you're not able to, fight through them. They're going to put you on the ground. They're going to knock you off your route to the quarterback. So, I am impressed by Chaisson, but if he can get a little bit heavier, put some weight on him, maybe I'd like him a little bit more. Now, I did want to mention, because I was looking at Maurice Jones-Drew's mock draft, and I want to get y'all's reaction to this, because what he has up at the top of the draft for MJD, going at the number 1 pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, he doesn't have neither Tua nor Joe Burrow. He has Justin Herbert going to the Bengals. And his reasoning is because he's a AFC North style quarterback with a big frame and strong arm to lead the Bengals in bad weather late in the season. Initial reaction to that, Zach Lucero?
I think it's just kind of like a splash thing to say there.
Yeah.
But I've been kind of saying for a while that Justin Herbert really is kind of like the safe bet at quarterback. Like, you have a smaller injury-prone Tua, you have one season of film on Joe Burrow, but then you have Justin Herbert, who's been basically, since he became a starter, talked about as kind of the next guy, the next prototypical, the next perfect sketch of an NFL quarterback. So it wouldn't, it would surprise me, but it wouldn't be outlandish to think of someone doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he goes 1, but I know, Chris, you were talking about some other places in the draft where people were expecting to take quarterbacks that I think could be switched and then taking Justin Herbert instead of one of these other guys.
Yeah. And one of the things that the reason why I put this mock draft up is because, it's Maurice Jones-Drew, and, everybody loved MJD, does a lot of fantasy stuff as well. But, he's kind of going out there with this number 1 pick being Herbert, because at number 2, he projects a trade with the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers, right?
Yeah.
I always want to call them San Diego still. Between the Chargers and the Redskins, where the Chargers go up to number 2 and pick Tua Tagovailoa. Paul Rodriguez, what do you think about that situation? Do you think that would be good for the Chargers?
I think it would be, but I think the picks are a little moved around. I don't know. I think Herbert's going to Miami. That's kind of like the feeling I've gotten of some things I've seen on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Joe Burrow leaving Ohio. In-state guy going to Cincinnati. I don't really see that happening. But I think Zach is spot on. I mean, Herbert is the safest pick out of all the top 3 guys, and we might even see 4 guys. Guy out of Nevada, Jordan Love, may go in the top 10. But if I'm Tua, I'm really concerned because if Tua falls, he can fall to there I go. He can fall to the Chargers, but the best pick I think is for Burrow to go to Cincinnati, Herbert to go to Miami, and then Tua to go to the Chargers. If anything, but for that pick right there that MJD is talking about, I think that Redskins, they're usually dysfunctional, but if they could, if they're willing to pass on that top defensive end out of Ohio State, I mean, then by all means do what you got to do to get more picks. But I don't think that trade happens. But who knows? I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. And here's the other thing too. What if the Chargers jump to go to 1 because they want Burrow and they give up everything they have in this year and next year's draft? Or if any team does that, like Miami. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't see how this is going to be giving away that much draft capital is going to be helpful for just one quarterback that potentially is unproven in Burrow. So I think the safe bet is for Miami to stay where they are, Joe Burrow to go to Cincinnati, and then Herbert to go to Miami. And Tua, tough, you're going to go to the Chargers. If he wants to do that, or maybe Detroit picks him up. But it's going to be a big mess right now because there's 4 good quarterbacks. I think one solid quarterback in Herbert, and potentially you have potential Hall of Famers with Burrow and with Tua. But if Tua never got hurt in the later game of the season, I mean, Tua would be going number 1 to Cincinnati, in my opinion.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing about this situation right now is, that we're able to, talk about these mock drafts and all these different situations and all these different scenarios. And, I think the top 5, no matter what, we're going to see, I believe we're going to see 3 out of the top 5 picks to be quarterbacks. What order they go in between Herbert, Tua, and Joe Burrow? I think that's, kind of still up in the air right now. Just to kind of round out this mock draft talk with MJD's mock draft, he actually has Joe Burrow going 5th to Miami. That's with Herbert going 1 at Cincinnati, Tua going number 2 to the Chargers after a trade, and then Joe Burrow going to the Miami Dolphins. Now, and his little note here is that that Joe Burrow fits in what the Dolphins want to do offensively with a quick release and untapped potential. I don't know if the potential's, I mean, everybody's got untapped potential right now, but we'll see. It's going to be fun. Maybe we should do we need to do a mock draft, guys?
Hell yeah.
Zach?
I'm down.
You down? All right. Do you want to be the first pick, Zach?
I think we should do. I think we should draft the 3 of us our own team.
Okay. Like fantasy team?
And only in like a fantasy draft, but of only rookies.
Okay. Only rookies. Are we doing linemen too, though, and defense?
I don't know. We'll have to work out.
Yeah, we'll have to work out the details. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 66. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, and Zach Lucero are on the line. Snoop Daniel over in the green room hanging out. Shout out to Snoop. We got a shout out to Flex ATX, FLX ATX. Snoop Daniel, now part of the Horn family. It's exciting for him, exciting for us. I know it was hard for Snoop to make this switch, but I got to shout him out because it took a lot of courage to go over to a different station and just a whole new different scenario, especially what we're doing right now. And I know between me, Paul, and Zach, we kind of knew about this a little bit. Snoop was mulling it over for a long time. So congratulations to Snoop Daniel, Flex ATX, FLX ATX. You can hit him up. All platforms, Flex ATX, Snoop? Yeah, all platforms. Have y'all started following Flex ATX yet, Paul, Zach?
I'm doing it right now.
Zach?
I got followed.
You got followed. Oh, okay. Zach didn't follow. He got followed. All right. Fair enough. All right. So, since we're all sitting at home and it is 40-something degrees outside and we're not, supposed to go outside and, get with our friends and hang out, what I wanted to do, and shout out to Patrick Davis for shouting out Flex ATX on Recon Athlete here. what I want to do is talk about the 10 most popular Netflix movies and shows. Zach, do you watch Netflix?
Yeah.
What are you watching right now?
Right now, I'm rewatching Riverdale.
Is that the one? Is that the one with art? Is like about the Archie comics?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I'm watching that, and I'm also watching this show called Messiah.
Oh yeah, I watched that, man. What do you think about that one?
I haven't finished it yet. I'm kind of like slowly but surely watching it, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Paul, have you seen that show, Messiah?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen any of it. No.
Yeah. So Zach, tell Paul exactly. Tell Zach, or Zach, tell Paul the premise of that show.
Well, Chris, have you finished it, Chris?
Yeah, I watched it. I've seen the whole thing.
Well, why don't you tell him the premise? What the heck?
Because man, you're watching it right now, bro.
Yeah, but I haven't finished.
Yeah, but you know what it's about, dog.
How you know I've gotten to the premise yet? What about
because you started it. You started it.
Oh.
Basically, go ahead. You go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris. No, you go ahead, Chris.
Nah. Zach, you say it.
Hey, you better tell him I'm going to hang up. Tell him.
Nah, don't hang up. Don't be that way. I want to hear.
Basically, Paul, Chris is going to tell you the premise of the show.
So basically, it's almost there's this guy who becomes followed by a lot of people because it's hard to talk about without giving it away though, Zach. Like he's a prophet, somewhat modern day prophet.
That sucks.
Huh?
That premise sucks. Basically, Paul, there's this Middle Eastern man that kind of looks like Jesus, and he like walks around and acts like he's the Messiah, like the second coming, like stuff like that. And he builds this following and performs like what it seems to be like miracles and stuff like that. And throughout the show, it's basically the CIA and all these different agencies trying to like figure out what's going on with him. Like, is he really what he says he is? Is there something else? Is he like a threat to like society? All this stuff, and the show takes you through like his journey, and then all these people trying to figure out about him until they like meet or whatever, and figure out what's up.
So, what do you think, Paul?
I don't know, man. We sounds borderline blasphemous, but all right.
Yeah,
it is pretty blasphemous. That's why I'm going slow.
Yeah,
I'm praying the rosary between every episode.
Right, exactly. You know, and we are coming into Holy Week. You know, tomorrow is Palm Sunday. And, you know, so shout out to all my Catholic brothers and sisters and all my Christian brothers and sisters out there. This is, you know, a good time to be talking about, you know, where we are with God and everything, obviously. But yeah, it is. When I first started watching it, Paul, I had that reaction too. I was like, man, this is kind of like, I don't know, man, this is almost a little bit blasphemous, but it's an interesting take. You know, obviously it's a fiction, but it's an interesting take on what it would be like, you know, on what, you know, what would happen if you had somebody like that, you know, in this modern day world, and the way people would react, you know, like a modern day reaction to somebody that's, you know, performing what seems to be miracles, and you know, it's almost like a second coming, you know. So to me, what was interesting about Messiah was their take on the different reactions from people, you know, from the government, from religious leaders, from, you know, just to the layperson. Yeah, people in Texas. I mean, just the layperson. So it was a pretty good show. I mean, if you want to go check that out. But the 10 most popular Netflix movies and shows, I was going through this list, guys, like just a little while ago, and I was like, I hadn't even heard of some of these. Like number 10 is a movie called Uncorked. Have y'all heard about this? Nothing?
Yeah, no.
I don't watch it.
Did you watch it, Zach?
Nope.
Yeah. Apparently, it's about a son and a father. One's a chef. The son is a chef, and the father is owns a barbecue business. So I don't know. Number 9 is Badland. That's a indie western, and it's a movie. I guess I don't know. It says the post-civil era shoot 'em up. That's kind of what they talk about that as, or bill it as. Anybody seen Badland? Paul, Zach?
I have.
What'd you think?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Next.
Paul? No?
No, man, I don't really watch Netflix. I'll be really honest with you.
Okay. Number 8 is Love is Blind. And I heard about this. But this is a reality series. Apparently what Love is Blind is, people meet each other. It's like a dating show. And so they meet each other and they don't see each other, but they basically kind of date for a while, and then they end up, possibly getting married. Doesn't sound interesting to me. Zach, have you seen that?
I haven't seen it. I've heard a lot about it. Getting to that point in the quarantine that I might actually watch some dumb shit like that.
Right. Number 7 is a movie called Unorthodox. Apparently, this is based on the autobiography of somebody named Deborah Feldman, a 19-year-old Jewish woman who flees an arranged marriage set up in her Orthodox neighborhood in Brooklyn. And there's a lot of Hebrew, and it's a 4-episode miniseries. I don't know if I would watch that. Number 6 is Car Masters, Rust to Riches. And apparently people are missing.
Pit My Ride?
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apparently people are missing exhibits Pimp My Ride. So Rust to Riches, Car Masters. Paul, I think you would be interested in that.
So is this a top 10 list of like the current shows?
Yeah, that's this week, bro. This week. Yeah.
Okay, because that's all this stuff sounds new, and that's why I was like, no, I dabble in Netflix, but I'll watch like I watch All American, like I watch that whole season, and so I see different things pop up, but man, I'm not watching some of these corny thumbnails that they got up there, man. I ain't wasting my time with that, but. I would think that we should talk about like our own top 10 at like on another show about Netflix.
All right.
I thought that this is what that was going to be, but my bad.
Oh man, I'm just did you have your own top 10 already?
No, but I just thought that's what we were going to do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. I didn't realize.
Let me down.
Let you down. All right. Number 5 is The Platform, and now I've heard a lot about The Platform. And apparently this is a movie. So the intended message is supposed to be the imbalance of a system where a small group of people have access to wealth and power and the ability to casually deny basic survival tools to people below them. Yeah, so it's like pretty good, I've heard. So Zach, have you seen The Platform yet?
No.
All right. Number 4. This is funny. Bloodfather. Apparently, this is a Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson?
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I've seen this, but not on Netflix. I was drinking one night, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool," and so I watched it. I actually rented it on the Google Play.
What did you think?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's if I remember right, it's about a story about an estranged father-daughter relationship, and he has to like go save her, and he's like a former troublemaker, Mel Gibson's character, and then he has to like save his daughter from like some bad characters, and he goes in there and handles his business.
So it's like Taken.
Yeah, but in a more gritty sense. Yeah, it's not refined like Liam Neeson.
Oh, okay. Liam Neeson's. All right, number 3, All American. Zach, I feel like you've seen this.
Paul loves it because he loves living vicariously through younger people. So
yeah,
kind of to be honest, Riverdale is kind of like a white people All-American.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. And Paul, I'm assuming you've seen All American.
I watched both seasons. Yeah, and it's on the CW, like on network TV. But I pulled the plug on cable, so when this was coming back out, it was pretty cool to watch. But it is kind of weird to watch like actors in their like mid to late 20s, like playing high school characters, and the show is pretty provocative for like a teenage crowd. But I understand it's 2020, but at the same time, like I still have like some traditional values, and so I see different storylines going on, and I'm like, man, we're dealing with like people like this hardcore intense violence with like 18-year-olds, or not 18 but 17-year-olds. But I do understand in like certain parts of the United States, like this kind of stuff does happen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, number 2, Ozark. Me and Snoop just finished the season 3 last night. Amazing show. Kind of slow at points, and you can't really like pull away from it. You have to really pay attention to what's going on watching Ozark. It's not something that you can have just sitting in the background. Paul, Zach, have y'all watched Ozark at all?
I have not watched Ozark, but all my friends tell me to watch it. That's probably next up. Probably before Love Is Blind.
Okay, so that'll be up before. Paul,
I have not seen it. No, I probably will not.
What do you do during your quarantine time, Paul?
I watch a lot of YouTube and listen to music. I usually listen to music through YouTube. That's what I usually have going on. And I'm updating Recon Athlete social media, and I'm putting different edits together, hyping, showing the love to all these student athletes who are still sacrificing and grinding. So I'm working, y'all. Like, all y'all see those posts on Recon Athlete, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter? That's me.
Yes, Recon Athlete. Follow us all on each platform. And number 1, of course, is the hit Tiger King. I watched it. It was pretty amazing. Zach, have you seen Tiger King?
No, and I don't think I'm going to.
Same. Boycotting.
Why? Just because people like it?
Yep, boycotting, because when it's too much, and it's not even like, to me the storyline is not exciting. I understand what's going on, but after you see it all over social media and everybody who's the bro, like, don't get me wrong, like I like watching Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub and those comedians and such, but it's like, listen, it's becoming like a cult following, and I'm like, I'm not going to participate just because I want to be rebellious.
Okay. Y'all need to watch it, dude. Y'all need to watch it.
No,
y'all need to watch it for real.
I'm going to watch it like in December. That's when I'm going to watch it.
Okay. All right. And dang, you know what? And shout out to Michelle C. She said she's watched Uncorked, and Badland was not good. I should have had her on talking about Netflix shows, because she's a Netflix head for sure. She would have broken down all of these for us and told us what to watch and what not to watch and what not to. That's the one thing about Netflix, man, is I'm always afraid to be wasting my time on something. So it's always a coin flip.
Next time we do our top 10s, we'll get her on so we can kind of get her expert opinion.
All right, that's what's up. All right, Recon Athlete episode 66. Before we wrap this thing up, Zach Busetto, you got anything you want to add? Any topics? Anything that you want to throw at us?
No.
Nah. What do you got planned for the weekend, man? What are you gonna do in your quarantine? Are you still gonna try to go out and play volleyball?
No, I don't. If you would have read the messages on Wednesday, Chris, you would see that I'm not playing volleyball. I'm just trying to get out and work out and still try to maintain some sort of semblance of what I was doing before the quarantine. So I've been getting together with Tyler Herrick, who plays football at Hutto, one of my friends. We've been working out, doing sprints and stuff. So I would like to do that if it stops raining ever. But other than that, I'll probably just play video games and watch Love Is Blind.
Love Is Blind. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Paul, just YouTube, Recon Athlete stuff this weekend?
Probably the opposite of what I said I would do. Paul.
Sort of, kind of. But it just, I mean, the grind is real, Chris. I mean, we're just trying to do the best we can with the situation we got, and I'm just tired of being at home. Like, I want to get out in the streets again. I ain't trying to go crazy, but
yeah.
I mean, like, if I got to go somewhere, even in Lockhart, I mean, there's only like 12,000 people here. I mean, the streets are dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good though. That's good. You know,
it is, but it's been a month, y'all. I mean, it's been a month since like everything has pretty much been shelter in place.
And we probably got another. We got 1 month to go and probably another one. So just
Dallas just extended theirs until May 20th.
Yeah, Dallas did. Dallas County did extend theirs to May 20th. So we're probably not far behind them. So, you know, stock up. Make sure you don't have to go to the grocery store too much. If you have a cloth mask or something you can put over your face, you know, when you're out amongst a lot of people, CDC is now recommending that. So, you know, if you got something, what?
I ordered some face shields from a company in San Antonio,
mm-hmm.
and you can like use them for whatever. But I was like, man, these face shields will be like awesome for this quarantine. So I got some of those on order. I think I got like 5 for like $70 or $80 or something like that. And maybe we'll see if we can get some kind of branding for Recon athletes in the future.
Word up. All right, y'all. Well, appreciate Paul Rodriguez and Zach Lucero for joining us. I'm still working, fellas. I actually got on the line the other day with Sandy McElry because we were both trying to figure out how to get the Zoom to go through the OBS. So I'm still working on it. But once we get that going, Zach, do you have you got a computer at home, right, with a camera and microphone?
Only my work computer, but I probably shouldn't use that.
Nope.
Well, I mean, I think y'all might be able to do it through your phones. We might have to get like the Zoom app or something like that, but we'll figure it out, man. Because I'm gonna try to get some video and you know, get this thing going. I want to see y'all's pretty faces again. I miss them. No reaction to that.
Weird. Well, I'm looking at my TV right now, and for all of you listeners, I know y'all have heard me say this who are you know, usual followers or viewers rather, but if you have your phone and you want to watch us on your TV, just, you know, if you got Apple TV, cast it through the Facebook app, or if you got Google, if you got Android, you can cast it through your smart TV or your Chromecast. Like, you can watch us on your TV while we're live. I'm looking at us right now, and I see, you know, Christopher every Wednesday and every Saturday morning. I can see us on the TV.
Word up. Zach, any shout outs before we let you go, man? We're gonna do it Flex ATX style.
Shout out to you, Chris, and Paul for less.
Word up. All right, Paul, do your thing, brother.
It'll be a little bit better when I get that Dr. Pepper cream. But ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Everybody on YouTube, hit the bell. We'll let you know when we upload. We go.